here. All right, so we're going to kick off this show with this question. Should Fox News be banned from Canadian cable packages? Oh, wow. Okay. That is surprising. I didn't think it would be that strong, but okay. Well, listen, the CRTC, which regulates television here, radio, and of course other telecommunications in Canada, they're asking now for our input, the public's input, after receiving complaints that Fox has aired hateful content specifically about the LGBTQ2S plus people. Some would argue more than just that. Jess, we're going to dive in with this question with you first. Is this a reasonable move, or should Canadians just be allowed to decide for ourselves what we want on our cable packages?
I do not think Canadians should be trusted to decide for themselves.
Oh!
Look, I think that there's a lot of things we don't have here. Growing up, there'd be cartoons on and all these like junky cereals that were advertised that were only in the US that never existed here. And that's like what you got to do when you went to the US. I feel like, that like Canada and the US are divorced parents. This is the mom. And in the US, it's like, that's the divorced dad that you go to eat pizza for lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and to watch Fox News, and to, ride around in a pickup truck and shoot a gun. And then you come back here, and you have your balanced meal. You go to the doctor, and you go to, you have your education, and you've got your news that is factual. And that's, I think that...
Okay, but that's interesting. That's interesting. You're drawing a line. Like, here's where I hear you. Like, Fox is clearly a pundit-based news. We have to put that in, like, heavy quotes. Like, the thing that has been pointed out, Tucker Carlson, who is, of course, no longer with Fox News, what he said was, the trans movement is targeting Christians, including with violence. And this was in reference to a mass shooting that took place in the U.S. Recently. And so it was a very direct, among other things, but this is one of the things that he said. And it's a heinous and ridiculous thing to say. It's not news. There's nothing non-objective in that statement at all. So I wonder if the answer is not so much about banning it. It's sort of like not allowing it to be called news. Could we do that? Maybe? Could it be just but then it raises the question of like CNN is also a very pundit, opinion-based news program. These 24-hour ones, like news is meant to be, this better than anyone. News is meant to be objective.
This is where it gets really tricky, and this is why, while I think Fox is abhorrent in a lot of the stuff that they put on the air, it's such a murky territory because a lot of people don't know the difference between if they're watching news or an opinion show. Sure. If you're a fan of Anderson Cooper, if you're a fan of Jake Tapper, if you are watching Tucker Carlson, they're on news channels. Yep. They are not doing news shows. They're talking about the news. They are not giving you the news. Do you see the difference?
This is why people can't be trusted.
How do we figure out the difference?
People think we're news, and we're not a news show.
This is
not a news show.
As a news anchor, I have been pulling out my hair for years, looking at Fox News, going, how are they allowed to say and do the things that they have been doing? Everything from the CEO, Roger Ailes, to Bill O'Reilly, and let us not forget the witch hunt for the birth certificate for one former President Barack Obama, which was led by Fox News, and nothing was done. And as much as I don't like what they do, I think banning them from Canada is going to do the opposite. You're not going to get the response. Just think about when you were a kid and your parents tell you, you can't have that. Now the only thing you want is what? The thing they told you can't have. So if you ban it, first of all, you're going to give Fox a whole new story to be like, oh, Canada can't handle what Fox can do. They're going to run with that story, so I don't think it's a smart thing to do. Perhaps a disclaimer before, host-led shows, or even better, a 10 to 20 second delay so that if they say anything that's not factual, it is blocked out, forcing Fox to be better at what they say on air. And also, without causing all the hoopla. Again, I think that getting them off the air is going to become a bigger story. So I don't think it's a smart thing to do.
I just think we've seen, we already have the example of what no-holds-barred free speech does in the U.S. and what Fox News does. It's not like we don't know where that leads to, and it leads to the complete erosion of democracy. And I live there, and I can tell you that, and you don't even have to live there to see it. So I think that people like that, the extreme right, they're going to take whatever your disclaimer is. They're just going to run with whatever it is.
I know, but don't you think they're going to run with it more if you say, no, you can't see it in Canada at all?
No, they're already going to say the most egregious things, and so I don't think the idea is to, like try to prevent them from being worse.
Yeah.
You know,
But just lastly, can't they? They can still just go on the internet and get
that's it.
Fox News.
No, what I'm
so
saying
it
is
doesn't
people
really...
already have the internet. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I think like, you know, people can go down whatever rabbit hole they want if they want to. The internet exists, so I just don't see why.
I hear what you're saying. The cat is out the bag. The cat is out the bag.
Well,
Yeah.
there's also a market for it. There's a reason that Fox, I mean, whether we like it or not, Fox is the #1 cable news outlet in America.
Yep.
So they're not talking to nobody.
No.
They're talking to a lot of people.
I know
who
people have
agree with
lost
them.
like parents and grandparents to this channel. Like it's not. Yeah, I think it's. I just don't think that we need it here. There's enough of that, and I don't think it's like, well, CNN is like this and Fox is like this. Like we're talking about actual hate speech, and they're making claims that when they go into court are clearly like not.
Yeah, no, I listen. I would love it if it didn't exist, period. But I mean, it's always going to exist. So that's the cat is a bit out of the bag.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.